Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we'll be taking a look at the brand new Amber Collection Dennis Nedry and Dilophosaurus. This is another release I was super excited for. I absolutely love the Amber Collection, but if I'm being honest here, I was getting a little burnt out that the first three dinosaurs that were released in that line were raptors, so I was super excited that Mattel announced that the next one was going to be a Jurassic Park 1 style Dilophosaurus. And of course, you can't have the Dilophosaurus without Dennis Nedry. I haven't picked up any of the other human figures in the Amber Collection line, but once I saw we were getting this awesome looking Dennis Nedry figure and this fantastic looking Dilophosaurus, I knew I needed both. You just can't have one without the other. These two go together like Jerry and Newman. I ended up picking up both these figures from Entertainment Earth. They went on pre-order, I think like a month or two ago. The Dilophosaurus retails for $29.99 and Dennis Nedry retails for $24.99. I'll leave a link in the description to Entertainment Earth if you want to order these figures for yourself. And I also heard that they recently just popped up on Amazon, so you could just jump on Amazon if you would like to order them through them. So let's just go over the packaging really quick because I am dying to crack these figures open and mess around with them. Let's start with the Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus is displayed in this nice window display. You got the Amber Collection logo up here. You got the Jurassic Park logo in that amber coloration. Let me just get my camera to focus in on that. You got all these amber cracks on this black background. Dilophosaurus Jurassic Park on the bottom. Spinning around, you got another Amber Collection logo on the side. And then on the back of the box, you got a picture of the Dilophosaurus as it appeared in Jurassic Park 1 with a little history of the animal. And that is it for this one. And for the Dennis Nedry packaging, pretty much exactly the same as the Dilophosaurus packaging. You got the Amber Collection logo right here across the top. Jurassic World logo in the amber coloration. Dennis Nedry, Jurassic Park on the bottom. Mattel logo is in gray. And spinning around, you got a nice picture of Wayne Knight from Jurassic Park 1, along with a little history about the character. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack these open and take a closer look. And here are both figures out of the packaging, and I have to say, I think this is the best set of figures Mattel has released so far in the entire Jurassic Park, Jurassic World line. This is just truly a fantastic set. I am in absolute love with this set. You get a lot of cool accessories between both figures. I felt like the Amber Collection Raptors were very lacking with accessories. You know, you got the headgear with Charlie, but for some reason, you know, Blue couldn't come with the headgear. So let's just take a quick look at the accessories before we take a closer look at the figures, starting with the Dilophosaurus accessories. You get this East Dock sign, which is a fantastic accessory. I love it. And the sign actually rotates around, just like in the movie when Dennis crashed into the signpost and could not figure out which way to go to the dock to drop off the embryos. And then you also get a piece of venom spray, which, let me just pull in the Dilophosaurus a little closer. There is a peg hole inside the mouth, and you just insert it right here, and you can give your Dilophosaurus that venom spitting action. And then you also get this collapsed frill, which is made out of soft rubber material. It's very flexible. You get, you know, just a little bit of red. That's meant to be this part right here, all collapsed on the neck of the animal. So to change out the frill, what you need to do is pop the head off. There's a ball peg in here, and it just pops right off. And you can just take the extended frill off and then just slide the collapsed frill over the neck right here, and then just plug it back in, and you just move the frill up to cover up that gap, and then you have the collapsed frill on the Dilophosaurus. Now, you can display it without the pieces, but unfortunately, there is a large gap, and you definitely need to leave one of the frill accessories on here so you don't see that ball peg being exposed. And just like the Amber Collection Raptors, it does come with the Amber Collection display base, which, you know, a lot of people say it looks like the dinosaurs taking a giant pee-pee. Moving on to the Dennis Nedry accessories, you do get two interchangeable hands. This one right here is meant to hold the Barbasol can. Then you have an open palm hand right here. And the two hands on this Dennis Nedry are identical. They're both half open hands. And then you get this really nice venom sprayed Dennis Nedry sculpt. And I am very pleased to say that it's not as brown looking as it looked in the promotional images. It's still kind of brownish, but I'm glad it's a little bit darker because I just looked like he got hit in the face with chocolate, to say the least. So I am glad it is a much darker coloration. You can see he is just wincing in pain from getting hit in the face with that Dilophosaurus venom. Definitely a really, really, really cool looking accessory. And then my favorite accessory of all is the Barbasol can. And what a great accessory. Look at all that decal on there with all the information. It looks just like a miniature shaving cream can. And then you can just pull out the bottom and you have the embryos right here. What a cool looking accessory. Definitely Mattel put a lot of love and thought into the accessories for this set. So let's take a closer look at Dennis Nedry before we take a look at the Dilophosaurus. And of course, Nedry does come with the Amber Collection base. There is a couple peg holes on here so you can stand the figure on there. So this is a pretty good Wayne Knight head sculpt. The glasses are not removable. I tried to mess around and take them off, but they are glued in there pretty tight. And, you know, it would be great if these glasses were removable, you know, just so we can, you know, reenact the scene when he fell down the hill and lost his glasses. There's a lot of great detail on this figure. Just look at that name tag on his chest right here. Let me just stop my hands from shaking. You got a nice picture of Dennis Nedry, the InGen logo, and the Jurassic Park logo. Definitely a nice touch on that ID tag. And then going down on his raincoat, you got the Jurassic Park logo printed on there. And then there's this dirty wash over his clothes right here to simulate when he slipped down the hill and got covered in mud. Definitely a lot of nice paint details on this figure. He's got his brown khaki pants. You can also see more of that dirty wash over. You get some nice wrinkles on there. And then the best part are the boots. The boots are all covered in mud from splashing around at the base of that hill when he was attacked by the Dilophosaurus. And then along the back of the raincoat, you got the raincoat hood folded back. It would have been nice if we got a different head with the hooded raincoat, but I really can't complain with the amount of accessories we got. Mattel did a fantastic job with the accessories for this figure. And to swap out the head, all you need to do is just pop off this head right here and just insert the Venom sprayed head on this ball peg, which is really, really tight. I didn't even get it to click on there. I'm probably have to hit it with some hot water just to soften up that peg hole in the head to get it to click on. But then you can see that this Dennis Nedry figure can recreate him getting hit in the face with the Dilophosaurus venom and just being in excruciating pain. So let's move on to articulation. I'm going to pop this Venom head off and just insert the regular glasses head. So articulation wise, since this is on a ball joint, it can look up a little bit, look down a little bit. You get some nice rotation. The jaw does hit the top of the raincoat right here. So that's about the furthest you can get the head to turn. At the arms can swing out to about 90 degrees. They can rotate 360 degrees. You do have a shoulder joint right here, which allows 360 degrees of rotation. You have double jointed elbow, which gives you well over a 90-degree bend. And then at the wrist, they can rotate, and they are also on a hinge joint, and then you can pop those out to put those interchangeable hands on. And then at the chest right here, you have a nice diaphragm joint, and you can get some good side-to-side, backwards and forwards movement. You can get a little bit of an ab crunch. You can see this Dennis Nedry figure does have quite the portly belly. I do feel like this figure should be a little bit more heavy set, but I think Mattel did do a decent job, you know, capturing Dennis Nedry's weight issue. And then at the waist right here, you do get some great waist rotation. You can do 360 degrees. Legs can kick out to about 90 degrees. You also have a thigh swivel right here, and then you also have a double jointed knee, so you get a nice bend at the knees. And then at the feet can rotate a little bit. They hit the sides of the pants right here, and then they can also just pivot out on that hinge joint just a little bit, so you get a pretty good wide range of motion on this figure. The articulation is very good, and it is well done. All right, let's just do a couple of quick comparisons. Here is Nedry next to a Hasbro Marvel Legends figure. Here he is next to Dr. Doom, and here he is next to one of these standard human figures in the Jurassic World line. Here he is next to John Hammond, and if Nedry was that size in the movie, I'm sure John would have no problem paying him that extra money that he so desperately needed. Maybe the park wouldn't have been sabotaged and John's world just go to utter crap because of it. Moving on to the Dilophosaurus. This is such a nice figure. I know a lot of people have been hoping Mattel does a nice Jurassic Park 1 style Dilophosaurus. You know, they really haven't given that color scheme much love in the toy line. We only got that one legacy color Dilophosaurus that came in that Target 6-pack a couple years ago, and then we had that canceled legacy collection spitting Dilophosaurus that never got released. So it's really nice to see that we got the Dilophosaurus in its traditional colors. So let's just do a quick measurement on this Dilophosaurus. This figure is just about 10 inches long from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout, and just over 3 inches tall. You know, depending on how you pose this figure, the height is going to change. So in the Jurassic Park film, the Dilophosaurus is estimated to be about 10 feet long. So that will put this figure really nicely in that 1/12 scale range. We all know in real life, Dilophosaurus was much bigger than its Jurassic Park counterpart. They got up to about 23 feet long. So this Dilophosaurus right here scales absolutely perfectly with its Dennis Nedry figure. Mattel did a really good job giving this a nice, accurate looking Jurassic Park color scheme. So let's pull this figure in and take a closer look at some of the finer details. That is a really, really nice looking head sculpt. Let me just get my light on it. You can see the eye is painted in yellow. You got some of that grayish black coloration highlighted by white on the head and going up to the crest. I wish there was a little bit of red on the crest just to kind of break up all that green in there. But you can see the head sculpt is very accurate to the on-screen counterpart of the Dilophosaurus. Inside the mouth right here, you can see the teeth are sculpted in white. I had just noticed I have some major paint wear on those back teeth right here. It looks like when you close the mouth all the way, that bottom jaw rubs up against it. So just be careful closing the jaw all the way unless you want to get a little bit of paint rubbage like I did. And then inside the mouth, you can see the tongue is painted a bright pink color, and the gums are actually a different color. They're almost a light purple coloration. And inside the mouth right here, let me see if I can get the light in there. You can barely see it. There is the peg hole for where the venom spray connects into. And then going down to the neck right here, you can see more of that nice coloration. There's a lot of nice sculpted detail on this figure. Let me just lift the throat up because some nice folds and wrinkles along the throat right here. Figure has a nice long throat. I just love the way that collapsed furrow looks up against the throat of this figure. And then going down for the body, you can see some nice folds and wrinkles, and there's some really faint scale detail in here. All in all, this is just a beautifully sculpted Dilophosaurus. Even the hands have a brown wash over the scales. On the hand right here, the claws are painted in a glossy gray paint. And then going down to the legs, you can see some nice muscle definition along the hind legs right here. Even the feet have that brown wash over the scales. Hind claws also painted in that glossy gray paint. And then going down to the tail right here, you got more of that back pattern that stops just about the midpoint of the tail. All of it highlighted by a white trim. And underneath the figure, this is the hole where the Amber Collection display base will clip in. You got a nice light colored belly that continues all the way down to just about the midpoint of the tail. So all in all, this is just a absolutely beautiful sculpted Dilophosaurus. I just wish there was a little bit more red paint mixed in with that crest up here just to break up that green. So let's move on to articulation on this figure. The mouth can close, but like I said, be careful closing it. Those back teeth go up pretty tight against that lower jaw. You don't want to rub all that paint off on the teeth. The mouth can open up just about that wide. You have that ball joint where the head connects in. You get some nice range of motion with that. The head actually can turn 360 degrees. It can look down that far and look up that far. See, I moved the covering over the throat right here when I rotated it. Let me just fix that quick. And then for the neck joint right here, it can move down, it can move up that far, and it also can rotate 360 degrees. The arms can move forwards and backwards. They are on a hinge, so they can swing out. You got a joint at the elbow right here, which is also on a hinge, allows it to rotate 360 degrees. Same thing with the wrist, can move up and down and rotate 360 degrees, so you can actually display the Dilophosaurus with non-pronated wrist if you choose so. Going down to the back legs can move back that far and forward about that far. Then you have a nice bend at the knee right here. That's probably the most the knee can bend because you have that thigh muscle right here, and it can extend straight that far. And same thing, they all have a hinge joint, so all these joints do rotate 360 degrees. You get another bend at the ankle right here, and the feet, same thing, are on a hinge and can also rotate 360 degrees. Same thing with the tail, another 360 degree rotation. You guys should play a drinking game. How many times I'm gonna say 360 degrees? You guys would be smashed right now. And then the tail also has that rubber wire that we've seen on the Amber Collection Velociraptors. It actually feels like a much harder, more sturdy plastic. My biggest issue with the Amber Collection Raptors was that rubber felt very soft and porous, and I felt like if you just kept bending the tail a lot, it eventually was going to wear out, and the metal wiring here was going to eventually poke out of the raptor tail. But this tail on this Dilophosaurus definitely feels like a much sturdier material. All right, let's move on with some comparisons. Here it is with the Jurassic Park 1 style Amber Collection Raptor. You can see the Raptor is much bigger than the Dilophosaurus, as it should be if we're going by, you know, movie standards. And here it is with the Attack Pack style Dilophosaurus. You know, Mattel really has to give us a smaller, you know, standard line Dilophosaurus in the Legacy Collection line. Here is the Savage Strike Dilophosaurus as the water spray in action. And lastly, here it is with the Rebor Dilophosaurus. And since I didn't really get these two next to each other, and here it is with Nedry, you can see that the Dilophosaurus is much shorter than Nedry, so this is perfect for recreating that iconic scene from the movie. So final thoughts on these two figures. This set is absolutely fantastic. I love all the accessories it comes with. The Dilophosaurus is a fantastic figure. It's very movie accurate. I love the option to swap out the open frill and the closed frill. You get that nice Venom action piece right here. The Dennis Nedry figure is absolutely great. The articulation is great, and I figure you get a lot of cool accessories with it. My favorite part is that Barbasol can with the embryos hidden inside. So even if you only collect the standard Jurassic World line with the 3 3/4 inch figures, you owe it to yourself to get this set. This is such a cool set. I'm gonna have so much fun messing around with these two figures, posing them outside, and taking action shots with them. It is truly a fantastic, fantastic set from Mattel. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I think this is probably one of the best Jurassic Park sets Mattel has put out so far in the line, and that is saying a lot. And like I said at the beginning of the video, you can pick this set up at Entertainment Earth. The link is in the description if you'd like to order one for yourself. So that will pretty much do it for the review. I had a ton of fun doing this review. This set is just brilliant. Absolutely love it. Definitely just run out and get it. It's great. I'm glad we finally have a different dinosaur in the Amber Collection line. Unfortunately, the next one is another raptor, but you know, for the people that want to complete their raptor squad, that is good news. I just really hope down the line we get more Amber Collection dinosaur species in this line. This is a fantastic collector's line. You know, Mattel is coming out with their own website, I think sometime this month. It's called Mattel Creation, so maybe at some point they could do some like crowdfunding projects, maybe give us an Amber Collection, you know, Tyrannosaurus Rex or something, you know, something that collectors want. Doing something like that, I don't see it feasible being sold in stores. It would be way too expensive and way too big, but definitely it could be an option in the future with their new website, something similar that Hasbro does with their crowdfunding, like they did with Unicron and some other things. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.